ladies and gentlemen, Goose is alive! Almost. I am slowly recovering from my horrendous Nurglate banquet. Yeah, we're a week down the line from when I first picked up my feeling like death, and I still feel a bit like death. But I have been in work at the end of this week, and I have managed to do a little bit of hobbying. It's now Saturday morning. We're in the car. That tends to mean only one thing. We have a destination, it's the best one, we're going to Warhammer World. So I'm meeting up with Jellyfish Gamer this morning, and we're going to play some Necromunda. And for the first time, we're going to play some campaign Necromunda. So we've played a whole range of skirmish games using the Goliaths and the Esches from the box. But I have made my Orlok gang, a starting Orlok gang for a campaign. And Jellyfish, I believe, has put together a Chaos Cultists gang, which I'm dead excited to see. I've seen one model, and it's pretty. So look forward to seeing that. So we're going to get together, we're going to play some games, they're going to be interlinked, it's going to be a campaign, we're going to see some progress, things are going to go, you know, characters are going to gain skills, guys are going to get injuries, they're going to die, it's going to be amazing. So my starting gang is only 7 models. There's a couple of reasons for that, and the main one being I'm using as my leader model the Forge World Slate Medina with Cyberhound model, which in his rules says that you can use him either as a hired mercenary or as a bounty hunter, or you can use him as a leader for your Orlok gang. And I thought it's such a lovely model, and I love the Cyberhound, that I wanted to use him as my leader. The problem is, he costs 360 credits. I'm sure he's worth it, he's got an awesome hammer and a load of cool skills, but 360 credits is more than a third of my entire gang. So it's quite a small gang to start with. We've got him and the dog, and I have painted the dog. I've managed to finish 2 models, and I'm quite disappointed by that, because it's only a 7 model gang, and I was hoping to have the entire starting gang painted and ready to go for this weekend. But I've just not been able to pick up a brush. I've started painting Slate himself, but I was so shaky and wobbly that I've made a right mess up of it. The whole model's covered in splashes and dashes of paint, so I've drawn away from that, and I'm going to go back to it when I'm feeling a little bit better. But I finished my test model Orlok that I showed you on the last video, and I think we'll look at a picture of that now, by the magic of time. So that's come out, and I really like the colour scheme. I think the colour scheme works really well, the cream and the red, and then I've sort of toned it down to make it very dirty. I love the rusty base effect that I managed to do. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. That's the perils of Nurgle's blessing. Right, so we've done that, and we've also finished painting the Cyber Mastiff. So I've painted the dog, and I'm really, really pleased with how the dog turned out as well. So here, by the Mistress of Time, is the dog. So we've got those 2 done, but we didn't get the gang finished, which is a bit disappointing. However, it's Saturday morning now. Jellyfish and I are going to play 4 or 5 games today, hopefully, and so some people are going to live, some are going to die. Hopefully we'll make some more credits and we'll be able to hire some more gangers. So the gang will look a little bit different by the end of today anyway. And then I'm going to get home and I'm going to start painting over the weekend. So when I put the video up on Monday, if I've managed to do any more, I will add an update here of what we've got painted so far, and a little bit of an update of what the gang now looks like. I will join you guys again on my way home from Warhammer World, where we can share the hype and talk about how exciting Necromunda is, and how much I like the Orloks, how they played, because I've not played them yet. And I'm behaving myself today. There's nothing on the shopping list. It's month end, money is very, very tight, so it's, you know, other than food and drink, I don't think I'll be buying anything today. If I really get tempted, I might pick up Gang War 3, because I have finished now reading Gang War 1 and 2 and the main rulebook, so I'm all caught up on my Necromunda reading, which is quite rare for me. I tend to dive in, read 2 or 3 pages of a book and the bit with the relevant rules, and then get obsessed with the game and never really go back and finish reading all the books. But I've done that. I had a train journey to London for work this week where I managed to catch up on a bit of reading. So we'll be possibly picking up Gang War 3, but I think I might save that till next month. But Jellyfish and I are going to play some games, and I will catch up with you guys on the way home. Goose out. gentlemen, our day at Warhammer World is complete. What a fantastic day. Big thanks to Jellyfish Gamer. Had a cracking time today, mate, really did. 4 brilliant games of Necromunda, all linked with a campaign, with some skilling up in between, and some great reveals, some terrible happenings. Moments where I thought my gang was done and I was going to have to start it again, and then we grew from the ashes. Moments where I was sure Jellyfish was going to outstrip me, and then certain tragedies struck. We've had a brilliant time. I've cracked a couple of personal achievements, one of which is for a single day at Warhammer World, where I'm not staying overnight. We were there for about 9 hours, which is probably the longest I've managed in a single day. But also, I managed to leave for the first time ever without buying anything, not including food and drink. Basic sustenance is necessary, but no models, no books, not even access to the miniatures hall this time. We were so busy gaming. So we had quite a long look around the shops. We went to the Forge World store, and we looked at the Necromunda stuff, and the new bounty hunters are great. There's a couple of models I really fancy, but not yet. So I behaved myself extremely well. We had 4 great games, as I said. In the first one, I had some niggling injuries to some warriors. So in the second one, I'd already lost somebody. One of my main champions was struck down, unfortunately. And unfortunately, after that, we had a game where I was supposed to be stealing some loot crates from Jellyfish, and he decided the way to stop me doing that was to place the beast on the crates. So from beneath the crates, under a crate, the beast burst out and managed to trip up Jellyfish's leader, Red, and then proceeded to take out 3 different people, 2 of mine and 1 of his, in successive rounds of beatdown. And we had some pretty bad responses. So I had somebody shot in the hand by one of Jellyfish's keen snipers with a las rifle, who has a hand injury, so their weapon skill is now quite poor. And I managed to hobble one of Jellyfish's girls, so that she's now moving an awful lot slower. She's lost an inch of movement. So we had some really, really good fun. And then towards the end of one of our games, my champion, Sam Crow, he is the guy that I had equipped with a harpoon launcher. Sam Crow, who is probably the recipient of my next paint job, managed to take out in the first game 3 girls with 1 shot. So he shot the harpoon launcher and hit 3 girls going through the first 2 consecutively, took the third one out of action, and I believe injured her, and then dragged the remaining 2 forwards. So did a cracking job. And then a couple of games later, I shot Jellyfish's leader, Red, with my harpoon gun, and I shot her through the eye hole. And she very much needed a doctor, and she was desperate to get to a doctor, or she was going to die. Unfortunately, the only people who can take characters to doctors are leaders and champions. And Jellyfish's leader had a harpoon through her eye, and Jellyfish's 2 champions were both in recovery from the previous game where I'd managed to injure them both. So, actually I think he'd managed to shoot one of his own, so I'd injured one, he'd injured one. So the leader had no one to take her to the doctors, and she sadly passed away on the field of battle, losing all her equipment. So that made a big difference. We decided that the only honourable thing to do was to have a funeral for her. So in the final game of the day, which was I decided we'd do a sort of turf invasion scenario, we took one of the tables in Warhammer World. We played on a Zone Mortalis table, so 2D. We played 2 games on a 3D table, which was great, some elevations, some people falling off stuff. And then on the final one of the day, some people behind us hadn't turned up on one of the big feature tables, so we nicked that, and it had a big crane in the middle. And this quest was, go to the middle of the table and attack a piece of terrain. And if you can blow it up, you've managed to invade the terrain. So what we decided was that the crane was being used to bury Red. It was her funeral, and they were lowering her casket. So my job was to sneak in undetected and smash up the crane and ruin Red's funeral. And I managed to get all the way up to the crane without Jellyfish's girls spotting me, and punch it with my servo claw on my second servo clawed armed dude, one of whom had already died previously during the day. And had I managed 2 out of the 3 hit rolls wounding, I would have done enough damage to smash the thing down, gain 5 experience points, which is a lot, and romp home with the victory. But unfortunately my fist clanged uselessly off the deck, made a load of noise, and Jellyfish chased me out. So Red in the end had a very respectful funeral with very little invasion. I did no damage, but we had a cracking time, 4 great games. At the end of it all, Jellyfish's gang roster looks very different because he's lost his leader, he's had to promote one of his champions, but his champion has now gained some skills and gone up a little bit. My gang is looking almost the same as it did at the start of the day, because I lost some guys and I bought very similar guys back, but right at the end I made a little bit in terms of credits, and I've managed to buy myself an extra ganger and an extra juve, so I'm up from 7 models to 9 models, or 6 gangers to 8 gangers. Brilliant day, just a brilliant day. The game is great fun, the campaign system is fantastic, we've just had an absolute blast. It's generated a ton of stories from an afternoon just messing around, and I bumped into a couple of friends while I was there, so I saw Luke and I saw Wes. That was great as well. Brilliant day at Warhammer World. And so I'm going to go home, I am going to get some of the geek funk off me and have a nice bath, and then I'm going to perhaps do a little bit of hobbying, because I feel the need to paint some gangers. See you guys next time. Goose out.